What's up, everybody? Welcome back to SoCal Exploring, but very importantly, welcome back to Horror Nights Unscripted. Losh, did you ever think that we'd be sitting right here doing something like this?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all,
Like-
honestly.
Not at all, honestly.
It was
So-
fun.
As you guys saw from the intro, a little intro that we have and our logo that we now have, me and Losh are starting up a podcast, a monthly podcast of sort, called Horror Nights Unscripted. And the reason why we renamed it, tell them why we renamed it, Losh. Tell them why.
Alright, so we have our good friends over at the Nights of Horror and Edutainment that don't want to have any friction with us. So,
Because they have East versus West.
yeah, exactly. So we weren't going to be another East versus West. No, we can't do that.
No, we can't. So this is not East versus West. This is Horror Nights Unscripted, coming to you live from two different areas of the country.
Exactly. Two different sides of the nation.
Because as you guys,
Size of the nation.
yeah, exactly. Because as you guys know, Losh is over on the East Coast. I'm over on the West Coast, and we're really with this. We're gonna dive more into it in this kind of intro. And whether you're listening to our Spotify account, Horror Nights Unscripted, or you're watching on the SoCal Exploring YouTube channel, what's going on, everybody? But we don't want to make it just a podcast. We want to make it more than just a podcast. I feel like obviously the podcast is gonna be there. Like we're gonna basically anything that gets announced. So if the scare zones get announced for Halloween Horror Nights 30 or Halloween Horror Nights 2020 over in Hollywood, we're gonna sit down and talk about them on podcast. What are some other ideas that you can think of that we just talk about on a podcast?
So when the Jabberwockies get announced that they're coming to
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood, we
Full
just need to have a full-on hour-long podcast about how excited we are for that.
And- no, but for real though, we're gonna try to bust up these podcasts, and I know I said it's a monthly podcast, but in reality, it's gonna be kind of like every 2 weeks. We're gonna really try to
More or
strive
less.
for whenever there's news regarding Horror Nights, really. We both have our separate YouTube channels, and we both have our separate Horror Nights content, but this is a way for us to dive deeper into the realm and our thoughts of Halloween Horror Nights as a whole, instead of just making a quick 15-minute video. And that's one thing that I like with podcasts. And I don't know, real quickly, I want to say before we dive into everything, thank you guys truly for the feedback on the podcast that Losh and I did, because it's insane. I mean, we were talking about this. We didn't think that it was going to be that big. With podcasts, they get such a good feedback on this channel, but it seemed to me that you guys enjoyed me and Losh talking so much that we had such chemistry, and Losh hit me up and was like, let's do a podcast together, and I was like, let's do it. So then now Horror Nights Unscripted.
Boom, the HNU.
The HNU.
Get it right.
The HNU for short. But I mean, I'm excited for this, wouldn't you say?
I'm pretty excited. I've never done something like this on a consistent basis. I've been on a podcast here and there, but I haven't had my own means of speaking monthly. Yeah.
Have you done because I see that you do the Hollowed Past.
Yeah.
Is that a monthly thing, or is that just
So-
something that is kind of series?
Here was my problem. I started them out and I was doing them weekly. I was putting them out every Wednesday. And then a little friend named Corona came around, and I've lost all traction. So
For a second, I was like, a friend Corona. That's ironic. But then I was like, oh my goodness, that's one of those brain fart times.
yeah. No, but I'm working on another episode now. I'm working on 1997, and then I'm gonna work on 1998. I was trying to work it all the way until until we got to 30.
Yeah.
So.
It's a lot of work to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier on me too, because now that we have, as you guys know, with SoCal Exploring, it's just me. It's just one person. So now being able to do a series like this, and we have both Losh and I that we can work on this instead of just being one person, and it's a collaborative thing. And even though we were talking about East versus West in the beginning, Anthony and Eddie are a big reason why we're doing this too, because I mean they created East versus West, and they're doing a great job with it, and we gain inspiration from them too.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them. I give a big shout out to Edutainment and the Nights of Horror. So it's gonna be fun stuff. Let's talk about where you can find us on social media. For me, you can find me on social media at SoCal Explorer Media on Instagram, at SoCal Explorer on Twitter. Subscribe to this YouTube channel because you'll see most of the podcasts on here, but there will be exclusives on Losh's channel. There's going to be some exclusive content on Losh's channel, which we'll announce further down the line when we get more Halloween Hornets news. Right now, it's kind of dry due to, our good friend Corona.
What a guy.
We're going to be doing stuff on both channels as well as our Spotify. So that's where you can find me. Losh, you want to talk about where they can find you?
You can go to LoshTV on Instagram. You'll see a nice-looking group of people there. A few friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can go to Twitter. You can see King Losh. But if you look up LoshTV, same way. And then YouTube, just look up LoshTV. I should be the first one on top.
Oh, yeah. I know he's the first one on top because it's such a unique name. If you guys want to check out the podcast that I was talking about, that me and Losh first did, talking about the first version of the Halloween Hornets 30 map, you can click the link in the description to check that out as well. But yeah, Spotify. Our Spotify is exactly what our name is, Horror Nights Unscripted. Not Halloween Horror Nights Unscripted, not the Halloween Horror Nights Unscripted, Horror Nights Unscripted. And once again, I'll put the logo on the screen right now so you guys can check that out. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Come on, it's beautiful. I don't mean to out myself, but it's beautiful. Guys, we're gonna put it on a shirt one day. If this goes big enough.
Take that shirt off.
Exactly. I'll be wearing it my whole Orlando trip. And that's one of the big things too is like with this podcast, I want us to develop because we both have our respective fan base with both of our YouTube channels. I want us to both develop kind of like a duo fan base, like where people come up to us in Orlando and like, hey, I listen to your guys' podcast, you guys are great together. I want something like that. I think that'll be cool.
You'll see real tears from my face when that happens, by the way. So first person to do that to me, just know.
Losh is going to be like, thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Or ma'am.
You're like, here's a whole $1.
Like, yeah, here's a free front of the line pass. But with this podcast, I think I want to share a lot of, because it's unscripted, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously it's going to be just not a ramble, but there's going to be no scripts. It's not going to be like a normal podcast where we have certain amount of topics and we talk about them. It's going to be like we're just going to kind of go off our heads. And I think that's the greatest thing about it is I want to give more raw opinions. You know what I'm trying to say there?
Yeah.
Let people comment down below what they want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, like we want to do more of your guys' topics too. So if you guys have any recommendations, let us know down in the comment section right now, and we'll get those juices flowing and everything. We could do different subtopics / games in these podcasts. I don't know. There's plenty of open opportunity here as far as everything goes. And I don't know. I kind of, like I said, raw opinions. And by raw opinions, for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, I mean if a maze or a house sucks, we're gonna say it.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. Oh.
No holding back, I wanna. This isn't gonna be. It's still gonna be media friendly because we still have brands to protect. But I don't want to censor myself as much as saying, oh, that house it was kind of bad, but we gotta give credit to where it's due. And I want if it's another Ash versus Evil Dead like we had down here in Hollywood, I want to be like, no, that is bad. It is not a good experience.
Oh man, that's like me with Chance's house back at 26. I hate that house, and I let everyone know it every time. I hold nothing back against that house. I hate it.
Oh my god, that's like me with Stranger Things, I'm just like, all right, Stranger Things wasn't good. I'll give the credit that it got better throughout the year, but it sucked. Yeah. It was garbage. It was not good at all.
That's what I heard.
And I mean, I'm sure that you saw it from the POVs, even though you couldn't see anything in the POVs.
Yeah, I saw a lot of black walls.
Yeah, I mean, all the POVs that were put out were just a night vision of black walls, or they cut the black walls so it'd be a 2-minute maze.
Yeah,
when in reality, it was
the first walkthrough I watched was super short, and I was like, wow, that's a really short house for a soundstage. And now that kind of makes sense.
You're like, wow, doesn't Hollywood only have one soundstage location, so don't you think they make it long? Oh, goodness. Obviously, the big topic right now is the version 2 that has come out of the 2 speculation maps from HHN Nightmares. Any thoughts on that? Actually, yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about our thoughts on that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's first start off with HHN 30, which I'm still getting people who are confused with HHN 30 and HHN 20. HHN 30 is Orlando. HHN 2020, when we refer to that, obviously HHN 2020 means Halloween Horror Nights 2020, but when we refer to it as HHN 20, it means Hollywood. But let's start off with HHN 30, the speculation map, the version 2, which looks like it's going to be the most accurate.
That map's beautiful. I am like 100% okay with it so far.
I think that a lot of people are more accepting of it than anything.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this in the DMs. Like, a lot more people are accepting with it.
Mm-hmm.
What are the big changes? Oh, Carrie, Ohio. Carrio, now Legendary Truth. What do you think that's going to be about?
I have no clue. I wanted it to be Cary, Ohio, so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
I saw that in your video.
Yeah, it's so bad. But it's fine. There's potential for it to be something bigger. Because I know the last Legendary Truth house we had, I didn't go, it was 2010. It was in the Wyandotte estate, which is in Cary, Ohio. So maybe they'll just dive deeper into that lore of the Wyandotte estate, or just go crazy with it.
It's gonna be. I've seen rumors of like an earthquake thing, which would be interesting. That was just something that I saw on the forums. I know that the forums spill a lot of stuff, but that was just something that I saw. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
In a wildest dream, that a earthquake thing would come. What would that be like? Just like crushed, burnt, like humans or zombies coming out at you?
I don't think they'll do zombies. And the other one was like completely empty. Completely like already full. And one of them was about to be full. And I was like, all right, I'll just switch my ID card, my SD card. And then I switched it, and it was like, oh.
Great.
It's like, all right.
Well, now that we're back, after I just changed my SD card, that's what we're talking about right now. So we continue on the speculation map with Gremlins and Sabrina being gone, which I called it. None of you guys believe me. Nobody believed me. Nobody in the comment section believed me.
Listen to this man. He knows what he's saying.
Exactly. I mean, you gotta look at the trends with Warner Brothers, and we were just talking about it before we started filming. His Warner Brothers needs to stop. They need to stop.
They're just the biggest tease. That's all they are.
They are. They like tease the fans because they know, like they obviously have to know, like the execs or something have to know, like, oh, the fans know what the lineup's going to be before the event happens. Yeah. So let's tease them a little bit.
Every year.
It's unfortunate.
It just breaks my heart every year.
Especially with The Conjuring. I mean, we were supposed to get The Conjuring this year, but like, oh my goodness, I want The Conjuring.
So bad. Horror Nights can destroy it.
Like, whatever. We won't touch on that.
We don't talk about it.
Bottom line is Gremlins and Sabrina are gone. There is an unknown IP on there and an unknown original. And also, Billie Eilish, which we were talking a little bit about, is actually now speculated to do the music for the Universal Monsters of Bride.
Yeah.
So, I think that will work a lot better. How do you think that music will work?
I feel like... Alright, so, not to talk about East versus West that much, but when I was listening to their last episode, they were talking about it, and I kind of agree with them that if she covers older music and just puts that slow tone on it that she uses, it can possibly work.
Yeah, because if they have the ambience of like the old music with her slow like tone, I think it would work a lot. Mm-hmm. It'd be a different type of music. One that I feel like a lot of fans would be like, oh, I don't like that. And then the fans are like, wow, that actually sounds really good. Like Billie did a good job with this.
Yeah.
I guess instead of using the word slow tone, we can use the word depressed tone. Yeah. Because that's what most of our music sounds like. Which it's not hating or anything. It's just that's exactly what it is. It's really slow, really monotone, but it works. And it could work for this maze. It could be like where it's really slow music and then a jump scare comes out and I said maze again. Sorry guys. This house. Where it goes really slow and then a jump scare comes out and then like the bass drops and changes into dubstep and then goes back to that slow. Kind of like with Holidays in Hell over here. There's some music where it was like really slow and calm, and then like a jump scare would come out like, you know? So, it'd be crazy.
Yeah,
And the craziest thing is Murdy, our creative director, did those vocals for our maze.
I did hear about that. He was tweeting about that, no? Like not that long ago.
He did all the vocals.
That's
which is
amazing.
crazy.
Murdy's a legend.
I think I'm happy. I'm really happy that if this were to come true that Billie Eilish is doing the music for The Bride, I'm happy for it instead of having a Billie Eilish maze in Orlando. Billie Eilish house. God damn it. Billie Eilish house in Orlando. I've been so good. I've been literally so good. And for whatever reason, I'm slipping up, but that's fine. What were the other things? Oh, the Unknown Original. Do you think that's an Icon house? Because I really think that's an Icon house.
I want it to be the anniversary house, so yes.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's an Icon house too.
I call it the Icon house. Losh calls it the Anniversary house.
Same way.
Same thing. I'd like to see if that is the Anniversary house, like different pieces of history other than just the icons, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see tons of different things there.
And the main thing is,
it's gonna be a new location too.
Oh yeah, that is the new location. That's
Yeah.
speculated, huh?
Yeah. I have no idea where it is.
But
I know
it's
it's
speculated.
I know it's no longer in Shrek, so.
Do you think they're getting rid of Shrek?
That's been speculated for years.
Yeah, I mean, it's old. Like, we got rid of Shrek, like,
You guys
a year and a half ago.
Canada, no?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think Universal will start to get on that trend for getting Panda over there. Which is weird, though. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but is Shrek where Clowns was last year?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about you, but as far as the walkthroughs I've seen in the houses, doesn't look like that great of a location.
Okay, so the best house that's been in that location is Krampus.
Uh-huh.
And
Krampus was in there?
yeah. And nothing's really lived up to that hype of Krampus. To me. So.
And for those of you guys who wonder like why we talk about locations and it's such a heavy detail, is because the location does matter a lot for a maze or a house. It actually really does. I don't know, whether it be just the bad voodoo that goes on through that location or the good voodoo that would go on through a different location. It's just the location matters. So if they're getting rid of Shrek, then I'll be happy because that means I won't have to experience it. Any speculation on where you think they're going to put the new house, though?
They either, I want to say maybe a new 10, but I know that for a couple years now, there's this plot behind E.T. that you walk past to go to where Graveyard Games was last year.
Okay.
And they've been constructing there or leveling the ground for about a year and a half now. So my only guess would possibly be either putting a tent there or putting a parade building there. Cause it's a big.
I think it makes sense for them to do, because don't they use a parade building for Horror Nights already?
Both parade buildings.
So they need another space for parade buildings because they store them like outside underneath a tent during Horror Nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they need another parade building. This way they don't need to store them on it because it rains a lot there. I'm sure they take damage. I don't know. I think you're onto something there though, because if they've been leveling that out, they could easily put up. I don't think this year they'll put up a parade building, but I think that they'll use that for a location to put a house. You know, either that or it'll be vice versa, where they use that location from now on and just keep the parade buildings occupied, or at least one of them.
Well, since we're talking about the parade buildings, I was on social media earlier and I saw that someone put out a picture of construction going on in the main parade building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like as of recently, or like?
Yeah, the picture was from earlier today. It was on, I want to say, the Freaks of HHN's Instagram page.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Also, I'm
Oh, no.
going to be talking about this.
Horror Nights Orlando. Horror Nights ORL fan.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Horror Nights. ORL fan. Oh, here we go. Found it.
Yeah.
New update yesterday. This one from an Insta. Oh.
That's where Graveyard Games was, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
This one. This photo was taken on Monday, 4/13. So they think positivity and autism is super neat as of now. Wow. Well, I just want to say to everybody listening and watching, I was not wrong. I don't want to be the person to say I told you so. Well, I'm talking about this in my theme park weekly wrap up is I don't know if you saw the live broadcast or I sent you the picture. They're working on Jurassic World, the rumored roller coaster right now, and a lot of people are saying, oh, they only meant that they're only working on Super Nintendo World and Epic Universe. This picture shows that they're working on Halloween Horror Nights too.
I said it once, I'll say it again. Listen to this man. He knows what he's saying.
You gotta listen to all of us. I mean, okay, well, you gotta listen to the people, we gotta be optimistic about COVID. There's still things going on, but there's more positivity right now than there is negativity for COVID. The government just passed, how they're gonna start to reopen the country, and even though they're leaving it up to the governors, though, it just goes to show you, if the national government is saying, hey, we're ready to reopen, then the governors are probably gonna start thinking, yeah, I guess it's about time that we start reopening too, just with strict regulations. So,
if I have to wear a mask at Horror Nights, it'll be the first time I get to wear a mask at Horror Nights.
If I have to wear a mask, I said ass. If I have to wear a mask at Horror Nights, then I don't care. I'm gonna feel like I'm a scare actor.
Exactly.
I don't care. But that is huge news. I'm not gonna put the picture up on the screen just because it is an inside source, so I don't want to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But if you want to check it out, go check out Horror Nights or Orlando fan, or ORL fan.
Yeah.
So they had the picture up on there. So shout out to them and shout out to you for discovering that, because that is big news. That is real big news. And that's what's that location again?
That's where Legendary Truth is supposed to go.
And that's where Graveyard was located.
Yeah.
There you guys have it. Interesting stuff. Really, really interesting stuff right there. That means that we're getting closer to Halloween Horror Nights happening. Wow. That's exciting. As far as... Also, I was going to say, I saw a comment today on one of my YouTube videos saying how, they don't think Horror Nights is going to happen. They don't think theme parks are going to open up for a year. And that if they do open up for this year, they're going to have to operate at less capacity and higher ticket prices. One thing I will say is, I think that we're going to have the cap space is going to be lower no matter what. Especially due to COVID, I think the cap space is going to be lower.
Yeah.
As far as them raising the prices, I don't think it's going to happen. Only because, Universal has to realize that even though they're in a financial crisis, everybody else in the country is in a financial crisis.
Yeah.
So they're not going to upcharge their event and screw people. It will be the same normal ticket prices. Also, one thing that they said in the comment is that they're afraid that the tickets will be gone fast. Which, to be fair, they could get sold out if they lower the cap space. But if you notice throughout the event nights, the event only sells out when both Hollywood and I don't know if you've seen this around there too. The events only sell out the night of. They don't sell out beforehand, and that's because you have random fans like we've touched up on the new tweens, that come to the event that go and buy a ticket that day, whereas you have diehard fans and just normal fans of the event in general, like me, you, everybody else in the community, who buy their tickets beforehand. So really, would tickets sell out? Would you have a struggle getting them? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Because as we know, that demographic for tweens is going to be large with Billie Eilish.
Thanks, Billy.
But who knows? Maybe it'll change because you guys aren't getting a Billie Eilish standalone house.
Yeah, who knows? You guys still are though, right? It was on the speculation map.
Hollywood, either way, we're screwed. We're screwed. We're screwed. That's it. That's all I have to say. We're screwed.
Yeah.
But that's anything else as far as the Orlando map goes. I'm trying to think. I have it on my phone.
The Pumpkin Original.
Oh, Pumpkin Original. Any thoughts on that?
So after I made my video. Fun fact. When I made my video, I was just laying in bed. And literally my friend texted me out of nowhere and he was like, Bro. New map. And I'm like, what the fuck? So,
like,
sorry,
what?
but
Really?
I was like, you're lying. So I opened it up and I'm like, oh, there's a new map. So I literally just popped up and filmed. Literally the next morning, I go to work. and I go and I look through. I can't remember the name of the page. But they were talking about a scrapped icon that was supposed to be a 2008 by the name of Nathaniel Crow, who is a pumpkin-based icon. So I think
You think we're gonna get? That's gonna be weird. We're gonna have Terra Queen, and if this is true, the pumpkin icon, and the potential anniversary house. Like, that'll be interesting. I was also I used this in my video too. The noticing of the early advertising with the pumpkin chainsaw head. I think that's a big possibility too, that they can hide an Easter egg in there.
Yeah, maybe have someone cutting a pumpkin open with a chainsaw.
Wasn't there like a pumpkin scare actor in one of your guys' scare zones as of recently?
So there was one at. So 2018 there was Twisted Tradition, and there was a bunch of pumpkins there, and I mean a bunch. That was in Cary, Ohio. There was a bunch of pumpkins, and then there was this pumpkin guy. I don't really. He's like a staple. Everyone knows him. Just the pumpkin guy with the chainsaw.
Just a pumpkin guy with a chainsaw.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a name. He just a pumpkin guy with a chainsaw.
Well, I'm sure that we'll see a lot of those masks and costumes in this house if it's true. I mean, I'm gonna be super excited. Like, if this house is true, when they announce it, seeing the concept art and everything for it, I think I'm gonna be such a big fan of it.
Yeah.
And I said, if they go this route, it's gonna make us feel like we're actually going through vintage Halloween, which is because we're all fans of the horror stuff, but we forget why we have the horror stuff, and that's because of Halloween. The Halloween season.
Take us back to our roots.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully, any of these ideas would be great. Honestly, I'll be excited for them.
And then another thing I threw out there, I didn't really say it that much in the video, but last year we got Yeti, which was in Slaughter Cinema. If we get Pumpkin this year, it could be related to Pumpkin Guts, also from Slaughter Cinema.
Oh yeah, I saw that you brought that up.
Yeah, I didn't really.
Oh my god, there's plenty of Easter eggs.
So many things.
There's so much. Wow. And we talked about this in our first podcast that we did. Is there are so many Easter eggs that they could put into these different houses, and that they do every single year. Wow, it's gonna be interesting. If all this if this lineup is gonna be insane. If you really think about it, this lineup is gonna screw the IPs. The originals are going to carry the event.
Yeah.
For us diehard fans, at least. The originals are going to carry the event.
I feel like all the Horror Nights fans have been waiting for an event like this, if it stays true to form.
I mean, you have Legendary Truth. You have the rumored Anniversary House, Terra Quintus, a standalone maze, and then you have the Pumpkin King. What else am I missing? Oh, Dungeon of Terror?
And then Bedtime Stories.
Bedtime Stories, which is the storyteller, most likely. Insane. Oh my goodness. Wow. We're in for a treat if this is true.
It's gonna be a crazy year.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it is true, because if you think about it, Horror Nights I'm sure Horror Nights executives and creative team, they're looking at this yes, let's do, for our 30th anniversary, let's do a house related to every single icon. Or
they
at
did
least
it.
The majority of the icons.
So I didn't wear this shirt for no reason. So they did it for 06. Every single house was an icon house, except for what was that movie called? People Under the Stairs. So. Yeah.
Wasn't that one of your guys' first IPs?
Yeah. It was the first IP maze in 92.
Wow. That's entertaining stuff. I'm super excited. I'm extremely excited. Wow, this turned into a podcast that we didn't even think was going to turn into talking about these maps.
Oh.
But, I mean, that just goes to show you, this is how this Horror Nights Unscripted is going to go. It's unscripted. We didn't have any plans at all for this podcast.
No.
We just knew we were going to do an intro. There's no plans at all with these podcasts. There will obviously be one set topic that we're going to talk about, but there's never any plans. It's unscripted. And as you see, that we just dived into these maps, which is fun. We're having a good conversation about it. So let's talk about the Hollywood map now.
Let's do it.
Which is quite interesting because I know, as you know, we are heavily based on IPs here.
Yeah.
Well, we have, I think, 4 IPs.
That really caught me off guard when I was looking at the map. You have so many originals. It's insane.
Let's see. Okay, so if this map is right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 originals.
Jesus.
That's not like us. That's Orlando. Which, okay, no complaint. I love original mazes. Don't get me wrong, but wow, it's gonna be weird to get adjusted to if this is right. So the only 2 things that are changed on this map is the 2 Warner Brothers properties, which is Adventures of Sabrina and Gremlins, which is now replaced with, in the Waterworld location, the Secret Intellectual Property and the original maze in the Gremlins location. Actually, I think I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only 4 originals, not 5. Not only 4 originals. Okay, so the secret IP, which is probably will be shared with Orlando.
Yeah. I think so, because if they're both unknown IPs, I don't see why it wouldn't be shared.
They wouldn't. The events wouldn't do their 2 separate IPs, which is going to be something that's easy, and that's why I think that it's going to be Texas Chainsaw or Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, come on, would Universal Creatives want to mess Candyman up? They want to have the most time they can do with it. It's a classic. It's a cult classic. So I think it's going to be Texas Chainsaw or Invisible Man. I'm leaning more towards Invisible Man. Really. Either that, or it could be something that, like, we don't even know at all.
Maybe it's the Conjuring.
Because
Maybe it's the Conjuring.
never that. But the one thing that people pointed out to me is the font that HHN Nightmares used for the secret IP looks a lot like Silence of the Lambs.
No way. Hold
No
on.
way.
Yeah, go look it up. So someone told me this. Silence of the Lambs logo.
I can't type today. Lexi is real.
Images.
Hello.
Oh my god, it kind of does. I haven't looked at this at all.
Wait, hold on.
No way.
Oh, yep, they used it for both of them. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, no.
That looks super similar. I don't know if that's a coincidence.
You guys can see right there that logo, the secret IP, and then let me pull up the actual. I'm sorry for you guys listening on Spotify. You can't see what I'm talking about, but go check out the YouTube version if you want to know what I'm talking about. And then right here, let's get it to focus. Right there, you can see it's kind of the same too. So, coincidence? Does HHN Nightmares know something that we don't? I think that'd be something easy for them to pull off.
Yeah, because it's not really. I don't know how it can be a house, but I've seen them work with things like The Exorcist. So.
The Exorcist. What did we do last year? What did we do? That was Ghostbusters.
Oh. Yeah.
How are you turning that maze scary? They did kind of, not really, but they did kind of.
We had like one scary room in that house.
That was it.
Yeah.
The rest of it was
a dark ride.
I mean, I could see this happening. I could definitely see this happening. That'd be crazy. So we gotta keep an open mind about that. I didn't bring that up in my video because I want to touch up a little bit on this. But now that I look at it, that's crazy. I'd be down for it. It'd be an easy maze / house for them to do.
If we have to wear a mask at the event, we can just make it look like it's a muzzle. We can just all be Hannibal Lecter.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Perfect. That'd be scary. That'd be terrifying because that's one of those things that a lot of people are terrified. Like non-traditional horror fans, that's what they use as like a scary face. So, I don't know. I'm down for it. And then of course, the original. Do you have any idea what original could be coming to Hollywood?
What was that scare zone last year that everyone was critiquing because the scare actors are going way too hard?
Toxic Tunnel?
No.
Spirits and Demons of the East?
Yes.
Yeah. I speculated that could be a maze before All Hallows Evil could. But it seemed like the general consensus was, oh, we want All Hallows Evil. Which I'm like, really? There's a great theme in Spirits.
Yeah, I mean, they had the four-legged Stiltwalker, right?
Yep.
Oof.
Four-legged Stiltwalker, the controversial scare to the little girl.
That was
the little
great.
boy.
That was great.
I didn't make a video like everybody else on it talking about it. I thought it was funny. If you don't want your kid to get scared, don't take him to the bed.
Exactly.
But I thought that was funny. And yeah, but I did see a lot of people complaining like, oh, they're going too hard and that scares. It's like, what are you talking about? You gotta remember, they gotta scare people all throughout the night. You gotta go hard. But yeah, if they were to bring that as an original, that'd be so cool. What's weird is like what I touched up on is them having an original in our Mummy location, because I mean we're not known for originals in general, but we're not known for an original in that location.
That's
Like
usually
more
an
of
IP
like,
over there.
IP over there.
and I like a really like loved IP. Clowns. We had The Shining. We had The Exorcist. We had This Is the Ending, Clowns 3D, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
What else was there? Was Silent Hill there? Silent Hill or maybe I'm brain farting right now. Yeah, I'm definitely brain farting. But a lot of the loved old movies have been in that location, so it'd be weird to see another original there. But I could see Spirits and Demons. There'd be so much like a samurai maze. Knott's has done a samurai maze, but Horror Nights will just do better.
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
Oh man.
That is unscripted for you.
Or give us
It's like,
geishas.
Give us geishas.
Like I was saying, oh yeah, that too. Sexy geishas. Which I don't know. Horror Nights Hollywood is at least really touchy, but I saw that you guys had like basically strippers dancing in the Rob Zombie maze, or the Rob Zombie scare zone last year.
You saw the creepiest people just standing around, just with their blinky cup, right? This is them. They're just.
We used to have go-go dancers.
Oh, hold on.
I don't know if you've ever seen those, but we had go-go dancers.
at the front of the park, right?
Yeah. And now we don't because Hollywood's soft. So I don't think we'd have geishas in ours. Or wait, no, this wouldn't be an Orlando one. So yeah, we definitely wouldn't get geishas.
Well, I mean, you can have just geishas in a full outfit.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It wouldn't cater to the older men that like to go and be pervy at these events. But,
Disgusting.
I don't know. I'd be excited for it. I was talking about this too. I was like, oh, hopefully Orlando doesn't do what Knott's does with Pumpkin Eater, because Pumpkin Eater sucks.
Yeah, when I saw your video, I was like, wait, what? And then I went and I watched the video for Pumpkin Eater, and I was like, yeah, no.
I don't like to hate on Pumpkin Eater a lot because I think that it's a great concept, but they didn't hit the ball right. Yeah. They really didn't hit the ball right. So fun and dark. And that is the first episode of Horror Nights Unscripted. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, I have so much fun talking with you, Losh. Like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good.
It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun ride.
And this is almost like leading up to our vlog that we're gonna do when I go and visit the Orlando event. And you'll see we'll make content out there as well, as far as Horror Nights goes and stuff. It'll be fun stuff. Definitely gonna get a lot more content rolling out. This isn't just gonna be a this year thing. This is gonna be an all years thing, and I'm gonna make some improvements to as far as my setup goes because I want to get this mic. I don't like having to bend down and talk like this. I ordered one of those stands, you know, that hold the mic over, so that's why the mic will be like kind of right here, right by my face, where I can just kick back and talk. Sure. To whereas the audio still sounds good, but the audio won't sound like this. It'll sound more like this, up close and personal.
So this is Horror Nights ASMR.
Exactly. We just have chainsaws, put the chainsaws up to the.
Just.
You guys can find us on all of our social medias, which will be in the description, and subscribe to this channel as well as Lost channels. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, follow us because it's hard to find podcasts that aren't up and going yet. Like this podcast, I'm assuming won't get up and going till a little bit. So click the follow button on the Horror Nights Unscripted Spotify page so you don't miss when we actually put out a podcast for you guys. And we'll keep you guys up to date on both respective social medias. Anything you want to say before we end this?
I will have a setup by the next video. Next
There you go.
podcast.
Losh will have a setup by the next podcast.
Yeah.
But that brown wall looks good.
Oh, thank you. I don't even think it's brown. I don't know what color this is.
It's like a peach / brown.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the middle. It's like
No,
Patrick.
kinda in
This
between.
looks like Patrick.
Oh, there you go. Like a salmon pink.
Yeah, there you go.
That has been Horror Nights Unscripted, everybody. My name is Scott.
Oh, Adrian. Losh.
We're getting
Sorry.
used to it.
Sorry, it was unscripted.
LoshTV. Yes, unscripted. LoshTV and SoCal Exploring coming at you. Sending you guys off. See you guys later in the next podcast. Peace, everybody.
Excellent, my dudes.